Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and if you look at my face here, one of my dogs has attacked me and scratched me. That's not very nice. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what's also not very nice is it looks like we are starting to get bans now for one-trick off-meta players. Now, this is a massive debate. So what I'm going to do before we go into this video is I'm going to put a poll somewhere, like maybe up there on the screen, and I want you guys to vote if this is something you want to see or something you don't want to see. Now, the question is this: should off-meta one-tricks be banned from competitive? Now, let's have a look at what's gone on here. So we've got this GM Torbjorn trick that goes by the name of PCIe 500. Now, I've never heard of this guy before, but apparently he's quite like, I guess infamous isn't the right word, but he's very good at Torbjorn. He plays loads of Torb. He just only plays Torbjorn, right? Now, he was banned, so check this clip out.
Cute factor to her, maybe? Account has been banned or suspended. Okay. What? What did I get banned for? What do you mean? I actually just got banned. What?
Okay, so the reason why this player was banned was for disruptive gameplay. Now, what the hell is that and what is going on? Let me just say this at the very top of this video. Blizzard have said they will not ban you if you play one hero, if you're like a one-trick, yeah? Even if it's an off-meta one-trick or whatever, they will not ban you from the game because you've paid for this game, right? So you can do whatever you like in a way, right? Yes? No? It's a very complex issue, this is. Now, let's take a look at what's going on and what I believe has gone on. Blizzard haven't gone in and manually banned this guy. What's happened is he has received a large quantity of reports, and I presume Blizzard have turned up the way the reporting system sort of reacts automatically. So if somebody's getting hundreds of reports, then it's going to do something to ban this player or take action against this player. Now, we know that Blizzard are kind of using more stringent sort of punishments now. So in the past, they would have given you a slap on the wrist and like muted you from speak in the game, which was great. Now they're starting to ban you for 24 hours. And then if you do it again, they'll ban you for 48 hours. Then they'll keep banning you, and presumably you'll then just be removed from the competitive season. So with PCIe 500, what has gone on? Why has this guy been banned? Well, I think we all know the answer to this question, don't we, guys? Right? This is a very fine line, isn't it? This is the line between I bought the game and I want to play what I want to play. I don't care what other people think in the game that I'm in. So what I'm going to do is put a few scenarios together to try and explain, you know, my thoughts on this, because I'm very much in the middle of this. Like, on one hand, I can understand why people would report these players. On the other hand, Blizzard have said they will not ban you for this. However, I guess there's a third option that you could say. Maybe Blizzard are starting to want to get rid of these kinds of players. And is that right or is that wrong? Okay, so let's go into this. So the first like example I want to give you is you go into a game and it is Dorado attack. All right, and you've got a Torbjorn only main on your team, and the guy plays Torb and puts the turret on the payload, and the payload starts moving forward. You get pushed back. This is not great. You're having to, like, maybe you've got some sort of team comp that doesn't work with the Torb. Then what's happening is you're forced to then start building a team comp around the Torb. So maybe you start playing Orisa and Reinhardt and trying to protect the Torbjorn turret or something crazy like that. That player is forcing you to play the game how they want to play the game. This is where it gets very complicated, right? What are you going to do in that instance? Well, I'll tell you what happens in that instance, and I've seen this through doing placement games on Spitfire, is, well, players will report these one-tricks. The Symmetras, the Sombras, the Torbjorns, they will be like, you're off-meta, please change your hero. They won't do that because they don't have to. Like, they don't have to change their hero, but then they'll get reported. Now, this is happening in every single game. And the way I've kind of looked at this is it's almost like trolling, yeah, but it kind of isn't, because it's being obnoxious in a way, yeah, that you know you can't really be banned for, but it seems that you are getting banned for it now. The question is, are these bans actual real bans? Will Blizzard go back on them? Because they've said they won't ban you for playing one type of hero, as I keep saying in this video. But you can see the point, like the different types of points of view, right? If I go into a game and we've got a Symmetra only main and it isn't working, right? Let's say the enemy team are like, I don't know, they're completely carrying her, they're just killing her, it's not working. You can see it's not working. What do you do in that game? Do you say to the Symmetra main, can you play something else? Problem is, probably can't play somebody else, yeah, because they're so invested in Symmetra. So generally, I just think, oh, whatever, and I just play the game. In fact, I think it's actually kind of funky when you do get off-meta heroes or off-meta mains on your team, because you can kind of like trip the enemy up. But when it doesn't work, as soon as it doesn't work, the rest of the team will start attacking that player and they'll start reporting them. And that is what I believe has happened to Fury 500. While he's not entirely in the wrong, he's obviously screwing up games for other people, so they're reporting him. So is he in the wrong? You can see how crazily complex this issue is. It's not as simple as, oh yeah, you're doing something wrong, so you get punished. These players that are one-tricking off meta heroes are not doing something that is wrong, yeah? They are playing the game in a way that it can be played. So they shouldn't really be punished for that, should they? But here's an interesting thing, right, guys? What about on-meta heroes? What about on-meta, like, mains? So let's say if the only thing I ever did was play Soldier 76, yeah, and I did this every single game, are people going to find, like, are they going to get aggressive towards me? Are they going to report me for this? Probably not. But it's the same sort of thing, right? It's just not as apparent as it is with the off-meta picks. So what I'm talking about is if I'm playing Soldier 76, but I'm not playing him very well, yeah? Or let's say I'm playing Genji or any hero, right? And I'm trying to main some hero that I'm not very good with. I am costing the team the game. I am not performing. I should be reported because I'm trolling, yeah, basically, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to play Genji this game. I've never played Genji at Grandmaster, but whatever, I'm just going to play him. Oh, no, I'm playing really bad. Oh, sorry, guys, you know, uh-oh, by fault. That is the same sort of attitude, yeah, as these sort of, like, off-meta one-tricks can suffer from. You get what I'm saying? But the only difference is the off-meta one-tricks actually can play the heroes, whereas the on-meta sort of one-trick wannabes can't. But can you see how complex this issue is, guys? Even I'm stumbling up with how I'm trying to explain this. So let me just rein this back in. So the first way of looking at this was, as I explained. The second way is, you know, should these players be banned? Now, this is a very controversial issue because if somebody is forcing you to play the game in a way you don't want to play the game, that's not fair, is it? But then think of the one-tricks, yeah? They're playing the game how they want to be played, so they're getting maximum return from the game in a way. They don't care if people are going to be like, oh, you know, this is the worst team comp ever, why have you got the Torb, etc., etc., because they're having a good time themselves. And that's kind of what games are all about at the end of the day, right? You come to have fun. So if people are going to have fun in certain ways, then, well, people are going to have fun in certain ways, yeah? The problem is, and this is the massive problem with Overwatch, and I think, right, this is why the game is so toxic, is because role select is a thing we have spoken about for ages. It is never going to happen because Blizzard do not like it. However, Blizzard have said things in the past where they would never, you know, there would never be a one-hero limit. There is a one-hero limit. The game was terrible without a one-hero limit. So they do go back on what they say. They said there would never be a deathmatch. There is a deathmatch mode. So things can happen. Role select, though, is a very problematic issue because Blizzard really don't want to force the meta. The thing is, they do force the meta, don't they, guys? With the changes they make to the heroes, they force heroes into certain levels of power. Look at Mercy recently. Mercy is a must-pick. Mercy has been nerfed on the PTR, and I don't think she'll be used as much now, but she went through a period where she was used all of the time. You could say the same is about Junkrat in Season 6, and even with the start of Season 7, because it's the same as Season 6. But that's a topic for another video, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see, like, Blizzard are not averse to going back on what they say. The problem is, right, and this is where most of these issues stem from, when you go into a game, like I'm going to categorically say right now, I've played 10 placement games, 10, ladies and gentlemen, on Spitfire. His placement games are done. One of the games, the game just disconnected me from the match, so it was you know, an instant loss, which is fine. The 3 other games I lost in those placement games were because the team would not build a correct meta team. So the enjoyment levels were reduced. What I mean by that is it's not like, oh, you know, we're doing dive comp or we're doing something like that. No, I'm just talking about a tank and a healer. That's what I'm talking about, yeah? I played a game on Temple of Anubis. Nobody would play a healer. I'm like, what is going on? We have no healer. We need a healer, guys. Can somebody play a healer? So somebody picks Lucio. Lucio's not a solo healer. So I'm like, hang on, I'll play Mercy, because obviously we need a Mercy, right? Lucio can play something out. Lucio's like, I'm not playing anything out. And it's like, oh, you know, then we've got no tank, and it's very frustrating. And those are the games that you end up losing, right? More often than not. It's not because the enemy team have outplayed you. It's because your team have beaten themselves in the spawn because we don't know what we're getting. Like, you guys remember, like, I've got my dice here, right, in my little thing. Do you remember when I made the little funny clip on Twitter where I rolled my dice and said, oh, look, it's Overwatch competitive? That's what it's like, and this needs to be solved. And this goes into a wider issue, a really, really wider issue of Overwatch League. Now, the future of that depends on new players coming through. Where a new player is going to come from if the competitive system isn't good enough to foster the development of those players. Anyway, let's get back onto the subject at hand, because this Torbjorn trick, in my opinion, should not have been banned. Even according to the game's explanation of the ban system, being a one trick should not ban you. You should not get banned for that. But it's deeper than that, isn't it? This one trick behavior is causing other players to mass report that player. Now, Blizzard have got one of two options here, right? They either leave it how it is and just let the system sort of take summary justice on these players, which will stop them playing the game, yeah? Because they only want to play one hero. That's not great. The other way is they come out and say, no, it shouldn't be banning people for this, so we're going to reverse these bans. Both ways, though, have got a pretty negative impact, and that is the big problem with what is going on here. We don't know right yet if this is something Blizzard want to keep, or this is something Blizzard want to go back on, but it is a highly complex issue. I know the comments on this video are going to be phenomenal. So go crazy in the comments below, guys. I will read through them, and I might actually use them in a future video, because I think I'd like to follow up on this. So I guess the question of this entire video is, should one-trick heroes, off-meta and on-meta, or one-trick players, be banned? Is that a reportable offense because they're causing you to lose your game? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Salos, and this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. You can subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter as well, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.